Hi there, welcome to Thoughts from a Car. My name's Carl. Thanks for joining me again. Today I think I'm going to talk about swimming, and the reason I'm going to talk about swimming is because at the weekend I had a lovely afternoon out with Nikki. We went down to the local Lake Erie. It's our back garden, you know, and went for a swim. Spent the afternoon there, just chilled out. It was good. It reminded me a lot of when I was younger and when I learned to swim. Learning to swim was fun. My mother paid for lessons when I was single digits, I'm not sure, 6, 7, 8, can't remember. But I do remember that the instructor was Scottish and he had a really broad accent. So my name turned from Carl to Puddle, and that meant that everybody in the class called me Carol. Yeah, I had a troubled childhood, as you can imagine. Still, the next thing I remember about swimming after learning it is that we used to go into the swimming pool every weekend during the summer. It was a major thing. We had a great time doing it. Myself, friends, neighbours. Roll your trunks in a towel, jump on the bus, head into town, make a day of it. And when you got in, you'd have a locker to put your gear in with a key which came with a little disc like a dog tag, and you carried that around with you. Now what we would do is we would go into the pool and we would go into the deep end, and they had diving boards at our local facilities, 25-metre boards. 75 feet. We used to stand on there and we would throw one of these in and give it 30 seconds or so to reach the bottom, and then we'd jump in after it, and it was a game. It was a challenge. So 4 or 5 of us would jump off the board at the same time or dive, slice into the water straight down the bottom, and one of us would come up with a tab. It was a great game. Unless you hit something on the way down, of course, that was a little painful. Or if you were in such a rush that you didn't go in clean and you flat bombed, belly flop as we call them, because that would really take the wind out of you in a bad way. If you went too far the other way, you would get it like being hit in the back with a plank of wood. Take all the weight out of you, all the air out of you. It was good fun. We'd spend hours doing that. And then we got in trouble from the local, the lifeguard people, and said, you know, you can't do that. Somebody's going to get hurt. That's a long way up. You're coming down very fast, and one of you lands on the other. And they were right, of course. We took the fun out of it. So what we did, we would stand in the shallow end and throw to the other end, and then we would swim and race and go down that way. The only thing we had to be careful of is when we threw this, then we weren't seen to throw it, because we get thrown out if we did that. It's a shame. It was good. Anyway, spent many happy days doing that with the buddies. I went on my own a lot because I love swimming. I was like a fish. I would go spend most of my time on the water. I used to be able to do two full widths, 50 feet, without going for air. I could do a full length. It's turning around. It takes it to do. Can't do it now. 2 heart attacks later. No lungs. Because 20 years of smoking, you've got lots of doing that. Also, I remember that I got certified for swimming by my school. We used to do school lessons as well. The school would take you to the local facilities because we didn't have our own pool, and they would teach you, and it was as much a safety thing as phys ed or something like that. Okay, I'm going to share something with you now I've thought about for years. On a specific day, way back when I was 13, I was scheduled to take a life-saving proficiency test. So the idea was that you have to perform certain tasks, you get check marks, and if you do them all, you get a certification saying that you're a qualified swimmer, stroke, lifesaver, stroke, whatever. Okay, let me just fix that, there you go. And that was fine, no problem. But one of the things you had to do was demonstrate that you could swim fully clothed for an emergency situation. So you had to do, I think it was 2 widths, swim across and come back. It was nothing. But they recommended that you used your pajamas for this, because obviously you need your uniform to go home in. So either a change of clothes or some pajamas or something, and that was fine. But owing to a slight laundry problem, misscheduling, my pajamas were unavailable for the event. So my aunt, lovely woman, leapt into my rescue and offered me hers. And me being a very polite kid and respect your elders and all that good stuff, couldn't find an easy way out of this. So I ended up actually going to school to take the test in my aunt's pajamas. She's a small woman. At that time she was about the same size as me, so that was okay. It wasn't the size as much as the colour, which was a white with pink polka dot. Yeah. So I go to demonstrate my manly prowess as a lifeguard dressed in pink polka dot pyjamas. It generated a lot of laughter, as you can well imagine. To my credit, I ignored the laughter. I ignored the knowledge that it was going to kill any street cred I ever had, and I didn't have much. I persevered. I did the test in the pajamas. I did all the rest of it, checked all the boxes. I got my certification. And that is a lesson in stupidity. It's a lesson in perseverance and in prioritization. I had no need for that certification. I wanted it. I'd worked hard. I knew that the laughter would stop, but I'd still have that piece of paper. I went for it and I did it. So that's focus for you. That's one of the many things that I remember about swimming as a kid. I loved swimming. I also remember, and the kids can back me up on this if they ever watch these and want to comment on it, no swearing. We used to go on vacation to a place in England called Primrose Valley, which is a resort, and you get a chalet and you would enjoy the facilities and amenities. It was all good. It was on the east coast of England, near Filey or Scarborough. The beach was awful. It was pretty much stone, and because we were not a rich family, I couldn't afford to get us there during the summer months, so it was either spring or autumn when the edge is off. And in England, that's not good. The water temperature varies between 0 and ouch. And swimming is fraught with danger because it's a coast, it's the sea. So it's not like a paddling pool. You have serious tides which can pull you in all kinds of different directions. You've also got 5 to 10 feet waves on windy days, and they can smash you against rocks and pull you under. So yeah, it's a serious thing to consider, jumping in. I used to jump in. I love swimming. I was a strong swimmer, but I'd go in fully dressed: shoes, jeans, shirt, jacket, everything. This is where the life-saving thing comes in. It just reminded me. I'd go in fully dressed, and the reason for that is if you walk into the North Sea in swimming shorts, there's a very high chance that your boys are going to crawl up so far inside your throat that you're going to choke. It's cold, very, very cold. The insulation of the clothes makes a big difference. But I do remember on one occasion going into the sea, and the kids are paddling and trying to enjoy themselves in sub-zero water, basically. Bounce. And I went striding manfully out, started bloody swimming. And I can't remember if it was Donna or if it was Dawn that yelled back, "Where are you going? What are you doing?" In concern for my well-being, of course. And I just yelled, "I'm going to France for some cheap cigarettes." Which got a laugh, which their geography is not great because that was nowhere near France, that was a lot further south. But it was fun. These are the things that you remember as you're driving around. I've swum in a lot of beautiful places. Ibiza, my personal favourite. I love Ibiza. And I would go there tomorrow in a heartbeat, either to visit or stay. I don't know, don't care. Crystal clear water, as warm as your bath. You dive in and you can see fish 15, 20 feet away. It's very comparable to the Lake Erie that I was just in, which is equally clear, equally warm, and has fish. I was in there at the weekend, and Nicky and I were splashing around and having a swim and just enjoying life. And as we came back onto the beach, looking down, the water's up to my chest and I'm looking at my feet. And I'm watching fish swimming around it. Makes a big difference to the fish heads I used to swim around in Farley and Scarborough because they're fishing boats and the fishermen on the way in will chip and throw things over the side. If the seagulls don't get them, you end up swimming in them. Trust me, fish heads are some of the nicer things you'll find in the North Sea. North Sea, not Northern. So, yeah, swimming. Talk about my aunt. We used to go down and visit on a regular basis. And she lived in Hatfield, Hertfordshire. Still does. And the big thing about that, they got an Olympic pool. And I used to go down there, and that's where I learned to dive. Nothing dramatic. I was doing some good springboard work, and I was doing a 75-foot dive, which is a lot higher than it looks. If you've never done it, do not laugh at the guy that climbs back down, because it's a damn sight higher than it looks. You're throwing yourself off a perfect good ladder. So, I can remember a few bad landings where it really made me think twice because I misgauged it. You don't just automatically come down in a straight line. If your feet go over, you're going back first. That's ouch. If you go in not deep enough, you get it in the stomach, then you may as well go home because you cannot swim. If you hit it bad, belly flop, it's really literally like being hit in the front or the back with a 2x4. It's excruciatingly painful. You got to get it right. If you don't, yeah, go home. Anyway, that's where I learned that. My first diving board was at Sunline Baths, the Arms House Baths. I graduated from there to the Olympic pool in Hatfield, and then we were using the Sunline Baths. Oh, that's right, 2 different ones. Well, I've forgotten now. Arms House Baths is the old municipal mill pool where the school would take us for phys ed or PE. Sunline was the current and up-to-date one with the 75-foot diving board, and of course there was the Olympic pool in Hatfield. So between those three, it's a large part of my childhood growing up there. I'm sure I learned to hold my breath for 2 minutes. Couldn't do it now. But anywho, this has been a particularly rambling thing, and I certainly intended it to be a little more specific. But swimming is something that I loved, haven't done for years. Started doing again a couple of weeks ago, as you'll know from previous podcasts. I'm going to keep it up through the summer. It's really good. Looking forward to it. If anybody wants to come over and visit, let me know. We'll make it happen. But that's it for now. I'm going to say thank you for watching again, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Thoughts from a Car. In the meantime, my name's Carl. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.